Oh,
Well, hello everyone, wherever you are. I am, of course, coming to you as always from. Now it's kind of like the backwoods of Canada. It's not that bad. I'm in the country though. It's really nice. It's somewhat of a rainstorm, and all I can hear is the rain pattering on the rooftop. Out in my
sounds
little
lovely.
Yeah, it's actually gorgeous. And what better thing to do when it's raining outside and it's kind of cozy and is to hang out with some of my favorite people. Tonight on Six Elementals, ladies and gentlemen, I have it's not one and only because there's three of them. I have the Mintons. The Mintons. Welcome, Mintons. How you doing?
We're here.
Thank you,
I'm
Pia.
here. I'm so excited about this.
I couldn't be happier to be here. I'm so
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited. I'm looking forward to this for a long time.
I was jealous because the last time you and was it Taylor interviewed John and Jacob, and that was a really good interview.
And Amy missed it.
I was downstairs going like, "I love you guys."
Well, no FOMO this time. You're part of it, Amy. So, which
so
it would not be complete if you weren't there. So the Mintons are wicked triumvirate. So yeah.
I would have said a three-headed monster.
Yeah, like a hydra.
Yeah.
That's apt. That's apt. We have some people already joining in. Zach, the Storytelling Dragon.
Hey,
it's on
So
time.
on time.
What's going on? What's going on, Zach? Thanks so much for coming out to support the Mittens. And we have Britton. Subtlety, dude. What's going on? Sorry, I didn't give Britton his proper at least a couple seconds.
There we go.
You can see. There
Some
you go.
okie dude.
What's up, Britton?
Hi, Britton.
Awesome booktuber. Check out Britton's channel. And plus, he's an Oklahoma Sooner fan, so he gotta love Britton. He
deserves love. The booktube nephew.
Yes, he deserves some love. And now we have Jared, the fancy thinker, baby, the esteemed Jared, another awesome booktuber.
Yep, met Jared. He's esteemed.
Oh,
he is esteemed.
Cool.
He is esteemed. Yeah, watch my 6 Elementals interview with Jared. He is one of those most interesting people in the world kind of dudes. So
awesome! I will.
He is the goods. Jared's the goods.
Yeah, he is fantastic. And fabulous reviewer, Shane Boyce. What's up, Shane? Thanks for coming on, brother. Really good to see you.
Hi, Shane.
Shane is fantastic. Shane's reviews are awesome, and the graphics and visuals
Ooh.
Chef's kiss. So I think. Oh, you wait till he gets to Discovery. You're gonna see, I'm sure, a brilliant review.
Can't wait.
Excited. Could it be more brilliant than your review?
Your review was amazing.
It was like an academic paper.
No, not at all. I was just scared about doing justice to it because the book is just mind-blowing in every way.
We all stood in the kitchen and went, "This is better than the book."
That's true. We did say that.
That is not true at all. We're gonna get into all things Discovery tonight, but I have to say, I want to give away some. Maybe I won't give away the trade secrets. You'll be giving away the trade.
Oh no!
Our host froze. PL, if you can hear us, you froze.
I wonder if that rainstorm got a little bit more severe.
He set us up to give secrets away, and then he dipped out. I don't know what we're supposed to do.
It's like, I'm gonna let you give the secrets away. Whoop!
What kind of secrets do you want to give away, John?
I mean, I think the biggest secret I have is my grandmother's Thanksgiving dressing recipe.
Oh,
I mean, I'm not.
I don't know if you're at liberty to give that out.
Yeah, that would be, or Granddaddy's barbecue sauce recipe. Like,
I've already improved on that.
I know you have improved on it.
How will we know if he needs to restart?
I don't know.
He's still bringing up comments.
He's bringing up comments.
Somebody bring up a comment. Guess what PL's trying to say, and we will answer
page
that.
89, a shout out to Dr. Philip Chase.
Would you note I froze? Of course, my internet.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
I'm back.
We were going to talk about secrets, and then you froze. Okay.
Yeah, you guys can run this thing. I mean, that's the advantage of having booktubers. If something goes wrong, then you just kind of go smooth.
Yeah, we were talking about stuffing and barbecue sauce recipes while you were on.
That's awesome.
What's on page 89? I don't know.
I can't even remember what's on page 89.
I have no idea what's on page 89.
I want to
Page
feel like it's
89.
in Dr. Oliver Doss already.
Yeah, I bet.
I'll bet what he's reading.
I bet
I
something
think
to
it's
do
what
with
he's
DOS.
reading. Yeah. I did not know Dr. Chase at that time.
Right.
I don't think any of us did.
No. I think you guys did. I didn't know him at the time. It's a little bit of a nod to when Jacob was little. He very little, like I'm talking about like 5 years old. He went to a birthday party in a Build-A-Bear workshop. You know what those are with the where you go to the
yeah. Oh yeah.
Is and you pick out like your stuffed animal outer stuff and the inner stuff and the outfit and everything, and he did all that. He made a dog or he made a wolf, and he called it Beowulf.
They asked him the name, and he said,
and the woman who was writing the name on the tag misspelled it, and he was just livid.
I was furious.
Little livid 5-year-old. Just
I can't see Jacob livid. He's such
he's
a
just like
guy.
a little.
Me now, I'm way level now.
You have to know, if you know Jacob really well, you can see the subtle shades of his emotions.
But he
moving one like a kaleidoscope, moving one from the other.
He used to love the animated show of Beowulf. Like there was a child's version, if you can believe it, of Beowulf, and he loved that. And I think wasn't that Robert Zemeckis version of Beowulf out?
Yeah, he
kind of
watched
around
that
then too. Yeah. And as a 5-year-old, you really liked that stuff.
Yeah. So that I think
I should have been watching that when I was 5.
Nope.
But I
guess probably not.
No.
Wow, so it's an early introduction to the classics for
You're
Jacob.
just like Grendel tearing off the arm. He was just like, oh yeah, score.
Now, how old was he when he saw the Sexy Time one with Angelina Jolie? How old would you have been? Were you old enough to watch? Oh, that's the same one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay,
that's the next one. Yeah.
I don't
so
think
I guess
he
7?
kind of knew it was happening with it,
Okay, that's a good thing.
Would you have been like 5? I don't know.
Close your eyes.
No. He didn't understand it. He wasn't.
We might have done some fast forwarding. I can't remember.
It came out in 2007, so I would be 7.
You would have been 7.
Yeah.
But I really think there was a cartoon version that you loved, Jacob. That was
But I can't understand why Michael would think Dr. Chase would pop up anytime you mentioned Beowulf.
Someone else asked me that too. Yeah, if that was a nod to Dr. Chase, and I'll just say sure.
Yeah, the wonderful Dr. Chase, Dear Dr. Fantasy.
Yeah,
yes.
Expert on all things Tolkien, Beowulf, the beloved professor. So yeah, we love Philip. He is.
We'll just say yes.
Now, sorry, when I got rudely frozen,
frozen.
In and out here in the country. What I was saying is that Discovery, it's more than just a book. It is an experience, and this vibe, this thing that's surrounding you guys, the way the community is just engulfed by the feeling of this concept. It's just, and I have to say, for me, I don't even think I truly understood. There was a hype about the book. Everybody was like, oh my gosh, yeah, Discovery. And then I read the book and it blew my mind. But you know what? That wasn't the ending. Do you know what I really understood? How the three of you were able to, again, this is from the outside looking in. You folks will tell me. It's when I actually did something that I absolutely hate, but it's the best thing that I ever did, is I joined your Discord.
That's true.
That's
true. You did. Yeah.
And I hate Discord. I told Amy, I said, I don't do Discord, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's a time suck. Plus something about the way the algorithm, it doesn't play with my mind well. It just doesn't jive. And then I joined it. It's like, oh my gosh, this is like Nirvana. It's the best thing ever. It is this
addicting though. Yeah. I love our Discord. I love our people in our Discord. I'm glad that you're in it because I feel like they're my friends, and we talk about
it's like family.
You never know if they feel the same way. I don't know.
Well, true.
It's like family.
But we're there to talk about story, and we keep it all about story. We keep out politics. We try to keep out religion, but sometimes stories are about religion and politics. But we just try to keep everything pure, and that's what I love about our community on Discord. So I'm really glad you're in it.
I think we have to mention it. Like, we had the Discord for a little while. That was just like the three of us were looking after it, and I think
Yeah.
people enjoyed it. And then the moment we started getting mods and they started like changing and planning things, it just like everyone loved it way more. So
Yeah. Well, we
the
actually
reason
got
it's so
people
cool
that-
is because of the mods, not us.
You
absolutely.
see,
Yeah.
that's typical
And Zach-
Mintons, giving love and credit to other people, but you built
Zach
this
is a
thing.
mod. Zach is in the
Yeah. But
chat
it's
tonight.
true in this case. The mods really run that.
Yeah,
show.
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're so protective of our community, and
Yeah.
they're so invested in it, and we're just really grateful to them for how much work they put in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
Yeah, the mods are great. What I'm saying though is that the sense of community shines through in your Discord in a way that I have never experienced in other Discords. It's palpable. Like the communal love, the excitement, the enthusiasm, the same stuff that I see that you all bring to BookTube, the passion and the craft that you bring to your writing. It's when I joined your Discord that I was like, I get it now. I get
Really?
it. Yeah, I get
Oh.
I've been watching, you guys on book.
There he goes.
There he goes.
All right,
He's been watching us on.
hit us up with that barbecue sauce recipe real quick.
I think he was going to say BookTube.
Yeah, I think he was, but
Yeah.
we'll never know.
Yeah, but
So-
we will never know.
We will never know.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining. We'll get right back to PL when he shows back up again.
Yeah.
Or makes a comment in the chat. We will talk about how you used to be on General Hospital.
No.
Come on.
We're not talking about that. What does that have to do with absolutely anything?
It's funny.
What? Who else would
Frozen.
Boomer?
Hey,
Feels back.
More freezematic. Anyways,
That's okay.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on today. Maybe it's the rainstorm. Anyways,
It's funny.
I got from being in your Discord, despite watching you and seeing it beforehand, what you've created, I see how it translates to what you were able to do with Discovery. Because one of my biggest questions is how and why all three of you? Like I know you're a beautiful,
That's a
loving
very
family.
good question.
I know you're so tight. You're such a cohesive unit, but why all three? Like, and also, what were the complexities of doing that? Of writing a
love
book
that-
with the three of you.
I
There
love
were
that
many.
people have asked us how all three of us, but no one's ever asked us why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a brilliant
Yeah.
question.
Why?
It's a great question.
And I think today we had a reason why.
Yeah,
John, I think
absolutely.
you want to. I
Yeah.
think you want to take this one because of how like you just told me downstairs.
Yeah,
that
we were
there-
just talking. It's funny. We were just talking about. We had
We have a good
pretty,
example.
A
Yeah.
pretty good sized meeting today. Plotting book 2.
Mhm.
We had a plotting meeting for book 2, and schedules. It hasn't been able to happen to where we're all three in the same room at the same time.
Yeah.
Amy and Jacob would meet, then I'd get some notes, and I'd add some things, and then me and Amy would meet, and she'd pass notes to Jacob, and we're going back and forth, or maybe I get Jacob on the phone and go, well, how does this work? So we're kind of scattered.
Mhm.
Today was the first time we could have a plotting meeting where all three of us are at the table together. We could look each other in the face, and everything just starts to happen and
Mhm.
line up.
Yeah.
Like we could all three look at each other and go, that's it. That's how it works. And we couldn't get there until we were all three sitting there. We each bring something. And I was talking to Amy before we came upstairs. I can't figure it out. I
Yeah.
can't.
We don't
figure it
know.
out. We don't have answers, but they were doing it without me. They were doing it as a mother and son thing because Jacob and I were doing the channel together, and they thought, well, this will be our project. We'll write something together because Amy's a writer. And then they would get to points where they would get stuck, and the three of us would have to sit down and figure it out. And it just became something where we couldn't. There's an alchemy when the three of us sit down.
Mhm.
For some reason, I can't figure it out. I can't put my finger on it, but it
It
happens
happens.
almost every time.
It happens time and time again. There are countless times when we were writing book 1. It's like we would get in arguments. Like we would be angry with each other until the three of us sat in a room and figured it out for 45 minutes, and we would all leave going like, "Oh, the amount of stress that just came off my shoulders is palpable."
Yeah.
But there's just something that happens when the three of us come together that makes it all so much easier.
I get the sense, again, of how close your family is. I can see the love, between the three of you, it's like I said, it's palpable.
So what's palpable,
What's
Jacob, is how pale you are tonight. You need to go outside more, son.
we were outside today.
You know, this is, I can't believe I'm talking about this on a live stream. But I for a moment I thought it was just us. I was about to. I got shorts for the first time in like 10 years.
I actually saw you in shorts. I saw your picture
Dude.
on Instagram.
I wore shorts for one day, sunburn both of my legs all the way down.
He's back.
He's back.
I'm back.
Yay!
I caught some of it. I couldn't say anything, but I caught some of it. Sorry.
We're just trying to hold
Yeah,
the
I
fort
saw
down
you
until
in
you
the
get back.
shorts. I didn't think it was a good look for you.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks,
Tell
Dad.
us your stuffing recipe next time.
I'll tell Zach later.
Okay. All right. Sorry, PL. Please.
You were at
No.
palpable, PL.
PL. You were
Yeah,
at palpable.
yeah. Yeah, I was talking about how this vibe of the three of you coming together to write a book, and you feeling that.
Feeling about that stuffing recipe.
The sunburns are still healing. They're still.
Aloe vera.
Have you thought of sunscreen, son?
Yeah,
I have. I just forget.
you need sunscreen.
Yeah,
You
it's a
really do.
problem.
Yeah. Where did you wear these shorts?
It was he and Amanda, and he had a drink. It was like they were outside.
Oh,
It, like,
are you
So
summer-
we're like
okay?
out in the world. Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you okay? Was this
yeah.
it?
I
was
had a
this in-
full blown mental breakdown. We had to go outside for the first time. It was
Wow. Okay.
a good
Well,
day.
did you was this in Raleigh when you went to
No, we
Oh.
went to the gardens down the road. Just had a nice day out.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, if I hadn't seen it on Instagram, I wouldn't know.
You follow our son on Instagram?
You know I do.
Wow.
Why don't you follow your son on Instagram?
Because
I
I don't
think
use
that's the
Instagram.
real question.
I don't use. Hello. I just finished
Oh, thank
Discovery
you,
on
Daniel.
Tuesday.
Oh,
I
thank
think
you, Daniel.
awesome book. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you, Daniel. That's so kind of you. I mean, it's
You're
amazing.
so
That's
interesting.
how surreal is that people are actually reading it.
Yeah. Right.
Like that's
That's
just
weird.
weird. Yeah, it is
Oh,
surreal.
PL's back.
Peels back.
Yeah,
I see blinking.
I don't know what of all times, right? Everything's
Dude,
fine.
it's the
we do
weather.
that all
We're
night.
fine.
It must be the weather. But
You're coming from the
anyway.
great Northwest.
We're
It's the
having
weather.
But yeah, so that ingredient was missing, and it seemed like, and now you translate that into this book that's captivating the indie world, taking it by storm. And
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
I feel that way. Hey man, I literally just watched your launch, and I apologize to telling Jacob before I missed your launch party and stuff. And I also watched the signing when you and Jacob were sitting on there signing all those books. Like, looks pretty darn successful to me. Looks like things are going pretty well.
It's hard for us.
Thank
We
you.
don't have any frame of reference. So
We
it's
have no
hard
frame of reference,
Yeah.
so we don't know.
I mean,
We're just doing
I
it.
feel Matt Dinneman and Ryan Cahill are catching or setting the indie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like
We kind of just put a book out.
Yeah,
There's
I think for us,
degrees,
there's-
right? There's degrees.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think for us, there's no
Agreed.
spectrum of how well we're doing. It's just
Yeah,
like,
we
this
have
is
no
cool. I like
Yeah,
it.
that's it. We're just walking around like,
We
can
just-
you believe this?
we just go from day to day going, wee.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can tell you that in my corner of the book space, it is absolutely blown up. So and I'm so happy and proud of all your success, and it's so well deserved. So
Oh,
I think Discovery's going to wind up on a lot of. You see people like Esme Rosalie, one of the top reviewers. You see her putting out these glowing reviews, right? I think Discovery's going to end up on a lot of both top 10 year-end lists. I know it's currently sitting on mine. So I mean, it's
You're so nice, PL.
well, it's the truth.
Your Papa love.
You're Papa. And in our corner, I mean, I'm so amazed that we see some beautiful PL Stewart books coming out of Broken Binding here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You want to talk about setting a little fire here on our corner? That was some fire.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
books look like fire to me.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations.
I'm honored. I don't doubt that down the road we'll be seeing, Strange Eons. Definitely, it's going to be in demand. So,
We'll
Your
see.
lips to God's
see.
ear.
We'll see. We'll see.
oh, I
Your
definitely think
lips
so.
to Patrocleo's ear.
Yeah.
So, Discovery. You take this wild, cosmic horror type sci-fi fantasy alternate historical fiction, like all this hodgepodge of stuff, and you shake it up in a blender, and it just comes out like silk, right? Like smooth. It feels organic. It's so well threaded together. Was that different, Mintons, working on different elements? Because this is tied to this question. For example, I think with Jacob, like I think John, Amy's still, of course, lovely and young, but John, for sure, John and I are around the same age. Like for me, the 80s,
you are young.
The 80s was a very special decade for my personal growth and development, right?
Same.
Growing into being a man. Now, Jacob, on the other hand, wouldn't have known what the 80s were about. But you capture the 80s with such a sense of authenticity and historical perspective. Talk about those things that really, you think about the 80s, whether it's the music, whether it's a big social upheaval like the Rodney King riots or whatever you're talking about. You capture that sense. I felt like I'm in the 80s, man. You know what I mean? How so? But okay, for example, Jacob, I'm sure he has a lot of strengths. He brought a lot of things to writing, but he wouldn't have been there, right?
No.
That doesn't mean he can't write about it, just like we can write about centuries past. But how did you manage to do specifically that?
I had issues with it.
Yeah, Jacob had issues.
Yeah, we lost PL again, but that's okay.
That's all right. We
got the question, so just run with it.
We'll be all right.
What issues did you have with it?
Well, we had to keep telling him, no, they don't have phones.
No, there's no cell phones. You can't call people.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And there was no email either.
Like, oh, we got a plot hole here. And like, what's the plot hole? I'm like, why don't they just
email
each
other?
Why don't they just Google it?
Yeah. Well, it's funny you should ask.
So that was fun.
90s.
And a lot of the times that, like, as parents, we just have such a good time telling you about, like, things that had happened before.
Yeah. And watching the look come over
and watching
his
the
face.
look of horror on your face when
you
you're like,
lived like that.
when you had to Google what an IBM Selectric was. You're like,
yeah.
That was.
I think I asked, "What is an IBM Selectric?" And Dad was like, "It was the greatest keyboard action of all time."
I still miss the little ball. I still miss my IBM Selectric from all of my office classes. But I think a lot of the historical stuff is.
He's really back. We were just kind of placeholder.
I think a lot of that was Amy. Amy is a research queen, and
I think a lot of the time that we spent on, like, oh, we have to get this right, was the technology, because that was something that we were very aware of. That, okay, what technology is available, even in like the video game world? What would AI simulations look like that Oliver Doss is handling? What rigging and camera technology do we have in 1992 for Manny's deep sea expedition, and how can we bend the rules on that? How can we make things accelerate because of the discovery? What would change with technology? Like, that was what we spent most of our time on what would be available.
And PL, maybe as a writer, like, you can agree, but I love it when books have a really firm sense of place, and especially if they're going off of what has already happened, if it's like our world, so to speak. I love it, and I mentioned on another live stream, and I'll mention it again anytime. Did you watch True Detective season 1, the one with Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson? What I absolutely loved about that, and absolutely love in fiction or storytelling in general, is when you can tell time by different ways. And in that season, they told time by hurricane, and they said they would say things like, that was back in Camille, or that was back during Betsy, or that was, obviously Katrina, or that was, and they would, and I was like, what a lovely thing to do as a community, to mark time by this destructive force, which ended up being a huge theme of that show, about these destructive, chaotic forces that devastated the community. And what I loved about saying, okay, now it's time to do this for us, and I was really excited about, like, April 92, and we start there because that's really where the internet is starting to take off. It's where the cables in the ocean are being laid, and everything is starting to become connected. And when that happens, that's when that's basically the inciting incident. It's just like, and now this is happening because of this.
It's going to be very hard to keep secrets.
It's going to be very hard to keep secrets in the world. So when that's going on, we took a look at what was happening really in April '92, and I mean, just like, wasn't Rodney King and everything that happened with that just such a great link? And I don't want to pat myself on the back, but just like the line of that was like I can't. I mean, that was just happy accident
because what a perfect link of things are not going to stay in the shadows. Everyone has everyone is getting a camera.
Yeah.
Every
person with a camera, and we know this now.
Yeah.
Every person with a camera is now able to show what used to happen.
Right.
And be kept secret.
Yeah.
And I was just like jumping up and down, just going, just like, this is perfect. This is perfect.
There's a great parallel for that theme.
Yeah.
And then I was living in LA during that time too. Right. So it's like that was.
And he knew like how destructive that was and how frightening it was, and not knowing. And I mean, some people, Jacob is still too young to remember 9/11 and not knowing where that stops, when things start going wrong, about just like, how far is it going to avalanche out before, maybe this will affect me, maybe it won't. But I mean, those things are really exciting to bring into fiction, I find, because everybody is
touchstone,
is reacting to that at the moment.
And it was so well done. And I think that you just articulate that so well, in that the existential dread, you would never know it's there if we didn't advance technology to that point where, yes, there's cameras everywhere. Now we can see the curtains are being peeled back. We're peeling them back by our advancements, but are we ready to see what's behind the curtain? Obviously not, right?
That's that's one of my favorite lines, and I don't remember if I wrote it or not, so I can say, I mean, that's the great thing about like being 3. It's just like, I have no idea who I'm complimenting, but I just want to say that like when Sorrow, who is narrating the overture, says like, humans are turning into omniscient gods, but not so wise, that I was just like, I love that line so much, because that's exactly where like humans always get into trouble. Is that they're always advancing and falling over themselves forward instead of moving in a determined pace.
Yeah,
but
it's that timeless Frankensteinian theme.
So fun.
And I have a lot more to ask you. That I'm just going to quickly, because I keep cutting, and I apologize, audience. I'm so sorry about the internet. Sorry, Mintons. I'm so sorry the internet. I don't know what's going on, but anyway. So if I freeze, I know that you'll just run with it.
Dude, we're having the best time.
I just want to quickly. We got some wonderful people in the audience. So the awesome
legs.
Wonderful, a booktuber herself, awesome reader, very insightful. If you want to know about audiobooks, you ask Sina. Basically, she's the expert. Just ask her. So that's who you go to. Michael's in the chat. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Here's Michael Beowulf. Awesome. Who else is out there? Nolan is out there. Nolan Steiner said, "That's so funny. Thought we see the movie in theaters when I was born in 1999. It's 8. And don't know who's taking me to see.
What are you taking me to see?
Well, I'm sure he's talking.
Eye-opening.
Yeah, he's talking about.
He's talking Beowulf.
The Beowulf,
the Angelina Jolie version.
Yeah, version out there. Ryan Skeffington, and he says 20% the royalties to the boss.
Kendall is a mod.
That is awesome. Another amazing community member, the wonderful Chibipo supporter of all things book space.
You getting a quesadilla? I'll take a quesadilla.
Fantastic person. The person who coined the transcendental prose regarding Janie Wirtz. That's Chibipo. He and I'm actually gonna get to speak to Chibipo on 6 Elementals interviews in the future. I'll have the honors. So That's great. And he's great the quesadilla. And we have Rakana in the audience. Hey, what's going on? Wait, where
I
the
have the same
quesadilla?
question. Where are these quesadillas?
Yeah, exactly.
You missed him, Jacob.
Okay, I think we got everybody who's actually in the chat right now. I'm just gonna quickly go through. Yeah, okay. So I think we're pretty well up to date. Oh, nope. One more off. My sister from another mother, the amazing Alicia Bray in the books. Hey, what's up? Alicia, she is
Neil is
fabulous.
the best.
He is the
Teal
best.
is the best. That is true.
Oh, she's so nice. Watch my interview with Alicia. Wonderful, wonderful person. Great booktuber. Check out her channel. She is also amazing. And we're not done. We got Beck's Book Buddies there. So
Oh, nice.
Reading as soon as Daniel's done. Hey, well, there you go. More love for Discovery.
Pass it on.
And well, it's readers in the desert. Yeah,
Sure,
someone's
Beth.
lived through that decade.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Beth,
With the
we did.
scars to prove
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely true. I think I put up. Did I put up? I missed you. I apologize, Bex. Buddy, sophomore in high school.
Hey, that counts.
So I have to say that I love me some flawed, messy, messed up characters.
Welcome.
Go morally gray, just totally, drama filled,
Mhm.
characters. And boy, does Discovery deliver on that. You got some horrible parents. You got, without giving away too many spoilers, you created some vivid, true to life, fully realized characters, but they all got some issues. So,
Yeah.
what was it like to write those characters? And was that very purposeful? Because,
Fun.
yeah, frankly, they all got issues.
I mean, why write characters if they don't have issues? I mean, because that's
Yeah.
fun. I mean, like, I would just say, PL, that I had spent almost a decade researching a nonfiction book that I
Yeah.
never wrote because I was so depressed all the time. It was just so the content was so bleak. And when we started writing Discovery, I felt like a kid just being turned loose in a field. So everything that was coming, I was just like, if it's not play and it's not fun, I don't want it. And that's why I think, and readers would have to tell us why people are reacting to that way, because it really is just like, it's us at play. We wanted to make something, an entertaining story that had, some meat behind it, something to say. But if you're not having fun and it doesn't take itself quite as
Too
seriously,
serious.
yeah. So I just think that's just like the best element of humanity, right? Is like, we can fall over ourselves and do some, stupid and aggressive things.
Yeah.
But we're awfully funny.
I think that it's like we were saying earlier. It's weird that we hear from people, "Oh, I like this part," or "I read, I read your
It's
book."
all different.
It's weird because for years we just have been cracking each other up or entertaining each other with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for it to be beyond us is a little odd.
Yeah.
So I think it was just us. I mean, the characters are messed up because we found it entertaining.
I think that's what part of the fear was, is that like when the book was coming out, it was like, oh man, we find people like Manny DeMartini and Voldemort hilarious. I hope everybody else does.
Yeah.
We did. And just that, and I'm not saying over the top campy, I'm just saying, like I said, fully realized and believable. And we've all met people that share some of those traits. I could so see, people like Manny. I could so see him standing there, with his shirt kind of open and maybe some chest hair showing there, and just, you painted Manny for me.
Have
on
we
the
gotten
page.
away as writers? Have we gotten away a bit and been a little bit scared off by making humans that are deeply flawed and making our characters really reflective of who we are as humans? Because like right about before we were going to release it, people on our Discord started calling John the Mr. Rogers of booktube, and you can imagine we were holding on to Manny Martini.
Yeah.
We were like, wow, this could go very wrong.
This could not be good.
This could not be good. And there were some people who were advising us and mentoring us, saying it's possible you don't want to start with Manny.
Yeah.
You might want to, because you might turn some people off.
Yeah.
And it's possible that the racial slur needs to go. And as part, and so we were listening to all this, and we said, nope, let it ride. Like, let's just do it, just because just do it. And it was a huge risk, PL. It was huge, but
it paid off.
So
paid off.
I hope so.
It paid off.
I'm really sure that there are people who I know that there are people.
I know there are people that this won't work for.
Yeah, like
Sure.
who read the overture and said, if the whole book is like this, I can't do this. Well, the whole book's not like that, but they can't get past all of that.
Yeah,
you're talking to the king of. Ooh, I can't believe you put that in there.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
You're talking to the king of that. So I appreciated that. I appreciate that very thing, that you had the courage and the integrity to write realistic people, realistic flawed people who are messy and did messy things. And like I said, I just admire the craft of which you did and the authenticity and what that brought to the overall efficacy of the book, making it great. It is a great book, no full stop, bar none. And the characters, for me, I'm a character-driven reader. Your characters, there were so many elements of that book and aspects of that book that were absolutely fabulous. But it's your characters that made me just stay up reading. Like, oh my God, I have to see what the hell so-and-so is going to do next as we bounce from POV to POV. And they were all, and that's when you know you have a great book, when all the POV characters are compelling enough that you're not like, oh, skip this. I want to get back to so-so. No, I wanted all of them, right? I wanted more. So, and I typically don't enjoy as much, with a few exceptions, books that have a lot of POVs, but I loved yours, man. I was all in. I was digging that. I was all in.
Oh, thank you, man.
Fantastic.
So much.
Thank you. Now, you remember in December, PL, or I think you finished before me, we were reading Marlon James, Black Leopard, Red Wolf. And that is a book that it has every content warning you can think of.
Oh, and then some.
I turned to John at one point when I was reading it. I was like, "This guy just got gang raped by hyenas."
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Lord,
happened in
that's in there.
And I said, "I don't want to hear it about Manny. I don't want to hear it."
Yeah, and that's traditionally published. And you know what? I always say, I know it's cliche, but we're indies, man. We do what we do. And there's no guardrails.
Yeah,
right?
But Marlon has guts. I love him. Yeah. Like I love watching his lectures. I don't know if you got to see any of his lectures.
He's brilliant.
Oh, I love him so much. I want to sit down and just like hope some of his genius rubs off on me, because like I love his courage. I love what he puts out there, and he just, man, he tells it like, I don't want to say like it is, because that never happened to anybody I knew, but what?
No.
Very cerebral, intellectual fellow who experienced a lot. If people understand the culture in which he grew up, especially how unfortunately intrinsically rapidly homophobic it is, and then he grew up. His parents were, I believe, both were police officers. Like I cannot imagine, knowing what I know. And coming from a West Indian / African background culturally, and knowing what I know, and them into that, and knowing what he must have gone, just imagining what he must have gone through.
He felt his life was in danger. I mean, that's a major trauma for him, and and that's really informed, what he's writing about, and how much he does not care for your sensibilities, because this is the way the world is.
Yeah,
and he's going to tell the truth. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where your courage definitely shone through in your book, that you were just telling it like it is. And also, the underlying morality tales that I drew out of Discovery. And I talked already about, are we ready for, of course right now there's a lot of talk. AI is the biggest thing that we're all talking about, right? To what extent is it good? To what extent is it bad? We're all shaking our boots, some of us, about where it's taking us. That it's already too late. That it's already taking us in a direction from which there's no return. There was that sense with the cosmic horror in Discovery for me that this is book one. I realize this is book one, but there was that sense of this has already happened. It's too late. How on earth can we escape this? That was always looming throughout the whole book. I was feeling this I guess this internal angst, like, oh my gosh, like how could we get out of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if that was the atmosphere you're going for, bang, you guys hit it out of the park. You guys hit it out of the park.
Yeah, I think it is, right? I mean, I think,
of course, but yeah, like and at the center of it is kind of like the glue of the book is this, professor, Dr. Oliver Doss, who's just like, why would you want to run towards the singularity like a boy in a field? Like, and that kind of just makes you even go like, oh, come on, like who does that? And there are, a life and artificial life professors now, and Ray Kurzweil is one of them, who we based Oliver Doss on, who's just absolutely enthusiastic about the singularity, while people are petrified of it. He's just like, I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think it's going to be a great thing for humanity. I think using computers to solve all of our problems is going to be like we could be in a totally different place. It's just like, are you serious? Have you met humans? Like, we're gonna blow it.
we have untapped potential to blow it.
Thus comes the simultaneous hope of what we wanted to get across. Of like, we want to have a little more hope for humanity, and if you're able to create AI and create life, and you're able to call artificial intelligence life, humanity has now technically ascended to godhood. What are they capable of? Are they, just a speck of dust in space, or
something more?
And are they going to completely blow it all on their own?
Anyway, are they going to blow it anyway? Yep.
But in the back of my mind, and again, I'm trying not to spoil this incredible book and the brilliant plot, that when you juxtapose that with that, things have been going on for eons, long before humanity realized what was going on. So, and humanity has so little control apparently over everything that's happened, everything that is currently going on. So you have to wonder, and I want to hear from you, Mintons, and of course, this is one book in, so we don't know how the series is going to turn out. But my question is, do you have optimism about our ability to not essentially destroy ourselves?
I think there's a spectrum between the three of us. I'm pretty optimistic, I think. While we're in a deep danger, this
is John over here. Jacob is on the yes.
Oh, he's on that.
I'm
okay.
I'm in the middle.
Jacob's like, we're toast.
Yeah.
I think humanity has a tendency to procrastinate quite a bit, and I think there will come a time where they've procrastinated too long.
I think humanity is so beautiful and varied in its chaotic nature that you actually can't catalog all the permutations and possibilities. So while that is a slice of us, a demographic of us, there is another demographic that is just can't stop working and can't stop trying to figure these things out. Won't rest until they do figure these things out. We're such a varied group of snowflakes that I think that there's enough of us that are. I see hope there. I see hope, and that's kind of where I think kind of Doss's story is what our pathway that we're always trying to look over the next mountain and look over and try and figure out what's there. Is for the good of us.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
even though that may not be true. I mean, there may be deep, dark parts of our genetic makeup that we're trying to look over the next mountain so we can be the first ones to plant a flag, and it's ours, and everyone else that's not here is not ours, and you guys need, so yeah, that's a big part of us genetically too. But I think there's enough of us working that it's so varied. I think there's enough of us that are going to pull us out of the fire. That's what I think.
I think we're in for a rough landing, but I think we're hard to kill as a species.
Yeah.
I think whatever gets pulled out of the fire, we're going to look very different, and we're going to have a very different way of life. And I think it's possible that could be a better way of life for us. And I don't.
And Jacob thinks we're cooked.
Jacob thinks we're toast.
I think my rationale has changed quite a bit, actually. I mean, I think that we will eventually leave Earth. I think we'll colonize the stars. I do think all of these things will happen. Like I've moved further into the column of
optimism.
We will wait until the last minute, and like Mom says, it will probably be a rough landing. But at the end of the day, humanity will be, their feet will be pushed into the fire, and they'll be forced to either die or pioneer a new way to survive.
But people like us that are driven and pushed to create life or create something, it's like they're listening to their better angels. They want to create something. They want to transcend. They want to create something that is transcendent. So I mean, they're on the path. They're working on it. So
well, DOS is a little different than like the general population of humanity, because I think to be able to like colonize the stars or do something like that, you have to have the full push of humanity. You can't just rely on those few people.
You just need Elon Musk.
No.
That's all you need.
But I think DOS is one of those types of people that like once there are people in the world that when they see the curtain in front of them, they have to know what's behind it. When they get that idea or that thrill, they need to, be the next big scientific exploration or discovery, that they will die until they do it.
And yet you depict Mintons. What I love about reading books that involve a historical perspective, that sense of history repeating itself, corporate greed, people trying to control the narrative of what actually occurs, religious zealotry, you have all, rampant capitalism. You have all these elements that, okay, we've seen this before, and you do it again, it's so well done. But in your world, we've seen some of these playbooks before, and usually doesn't end up well. So, you're thinking, with all this happening, how on earth can we survive this, right? So, I am very curious to see as this series evolves, considering the storylines of the individual characters, considering what's happened, considering what's been revealed, especially near the end of the book. Our chances. I consider myself an optimist, but even I don't know if I like our chances.
But I mean, that's the genre we're playing in, right? Like Cosmic Horror is supposed to give you that sense of dread, that not only is the foreboding reality of this coming existential crisis coming at you, but you can do nothing about it. Probably you can't even comprehend it.
Yeah.
So that's the genre we're playing in, but we're trying to walk a tightrope where it's like, maybe there's a sliver of hope. Maybe we're not just ants on a speck of dust. Maybe we do have a bit more agency. Maybe we have becomes just enough transcendent that we've created something that we're not just pieces on a board. We can maybe make a few moves. Will it be enough moves? That's to be seen.
I want to get back to characters. I'm just going to briefly add some of the people that came in that I just want to make sure I try and get everybody to join the chat. Thank you so much. Natalie says that's adorable, Zach.
Another mod.
Earlier.
All of our mods are here.
And then we have the ADHD Dreader. Let's see who else is anyone new that came into the chat. I'm just trying to go through to make sure. I just do want to put up this quick comment from Daniel because he mentioned Black Leopard Werewolf. It definitely the dark is I have to agree. Alyssa said that she's scared of it. Yeah, it's pretty grim. It's a lot. Like it's a lot.
I
Yeah,
gotta read this
loved
book,
it.
man. This sounds awesome.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a
Jacob,
lot.
it's a
Um,
lot. It's
um,
like there are chapters I had to just blink a lot and just go, what? Go. Like, wow, that guy wrote that. Oh,
but I want to say, so we're just going back quickly to characters. So my barometer for the book very much came down to one specific character that doesn't really have a POV. So this character starts off as being someone who is seemingly an underdog and someone who is brought into the inner circle because of her credibility and because of the fact that she's not part of the inner circle, and she quickly becomes part of it. And now she's got baggage, especially because of bad parenting. But at the same time, she rises to be part of the prominent and the people who are controlling the narrative. Now, when you see a character like that, I think that was it was a big thing for me saying, does absolute power corrupt absolutely? Is this person become as cold and as pragmatic as perhaps her boss?
Talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
Sorry. Yeah.
or underneath, is there still a sliver of who they were, right,
Mhm.
when they started off as in the beginning of the book? And that character, like I said, I used her as a barometer for what could be the outcome of this. Will it be a reversal?
You know what? While he's frozen, I'm going to say, okay, I love that barometer.
Mhm.
And this is why. Because that character slotted in so late.
Yeah.
Like that was really the work of our developmental editor and working with us on some threads. And that slotted in so late. And
For
it's
people who have read Discovery, they are talking about
Nessa.
Nessa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's like, I remember us sitting around the table going, this is that scene in the epic fantasy where somebody gets pulled up to the throne room and things get explained, and we need a everyman to.
Well, you explained it to me like Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Like it was like it's Horatio being pulled into the Hamlet's situation, going like, hey, my dad died. Yeah, that's rough, buddy. Yeah, but he's a ghost and he's over there. I'm gonna need you to watch this, and like pulling somebody up and into the throne room or into the weird action. Hi, Peel.
Hi, Peel. We're just talking without you. I don't know how much you heard.
I heard a bit.
Oh, we were saying that
he's gone.
He's gone.
I'm still here.
Okay. We were saying that the character you were talking about,
that's a great
we've
barometer.
named it is Nessa, and how much we loved that how late she came into the process for us.
Yeah, that's a very late ad.
It was a very late ad, and we thought actually it was Janny who convinced us that was
Janny works.
Yeah.
Well, it's not so much that she said that, it's just that the way it just wasn't a proper perspective, because it was very close to Howard, and it was just too close. Like we needed to back off of that a little bit.
We needed an everyman. We needed a Jimmy Stewart. We needed somebody that gets pulled up to the throne room and everything gets explained, like her world gets broadened, and so we could kind of have a lens to look at this through. So she came in so late, like.
So what Janny would call the focus character.
The focus character,
everything that, So when Nessa came in and we brought that character in, things started to happen very differently in the narrative, and that was a really good move.
She came in so
Thanks,
late.
Janny.
She's not one of the ones that the arc is like. I mean,
I
think she's a great barometer for all of us.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just like, wait, wow, we've got plans for her for the rest of the series. But now the fun is that it feels like
now we do.
She should have been there all along, because like we have these weird little holes where we're just like, there she goes. Right there, right there. Now, now we figured out it's just this kind of like, this story has some kind of weird, intelligent design that we're just taking notes about from the universe, but that she was supposed to be there the whole time.
Yeah. So I think she's a barometer for us sometimes.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah,
for sure. I think that's been like one of the most beautiful things about writing the book has been you so intricately like create all these little characters that have their different places and their different things that they do, and you run into a problem, you're like, damn it, oh, I got this little tool over here, I got like 20 of these things, I'll just stick you over here, that looks great, thank you.
Yeah.
And now that we're working on book 2, it's like, oh, Nessa, yeah, you do all these things, that's helpful.
And the weird thing is, like, you'll think it's like so many times it's happened to us, it's like, whew, sorry guys, I don't know what I was thinking. That was the worst idea. I'm sorry. That was, that was a tangent that I should have never brought. And then fast forward to 3 or 4 weeks later, it's like, what were you talking about? We need that. That perfectly.
That goes here.
That goes here.
Yeah.
So we found out you save everything.
Yeah.
No matter how silly it seems.
Well, I can tell you, this book really, really worked for me. I quickly want to touch on one major thing. We did briefly go there a bit, but AI, because in your book, you asked some there's several moral quandaries surrounding specifically artificial intelligence, and I just couldn't get enough of the questions that you raised within me about it. I'm sure you raised within other readers. And basically, especially surrounding, do we actually own it? And if we claim that we're creating this life, well, after it's a life, then isn't it autonomous? Doesn't it belong to itself? Like, there are all these questions, these really thought-provoking questions that this book raised. And the best authors, as you are, don't necessarily give you the answers, and you're not trying to lead the reader on a particular garden path, but you're putting the questions out there to let the reader decide for themselves and to get those synapses firing about, oh my God, yeah, I never thought about that. Like, what, so, but I am interested to hear a bit, and you don't have to give away the trade, just a bit about what you think about AI. And if as you mentioned before, like, we create this life form, essentially, is it a life form? Is it still just a machine? Do we own it? Is it autonomous? If it's essentially sentient, then, like, what do you think about all that?
Man, I can't wait for you to have the next book, PL.
And again, I'm not expecting a complete answer. Just a little bit of a snippet of what maybe is going on in the mind of the Mintons when it comes to AI.
I can just say, I look at everything. Jacob has changed my life in the most profound way, because I look at everything through the lens of a parent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And all I will say about that is, you want your creation to go further.
Yes.
And do it in a better way than you would ever hope that you were capable of doing. I think that's as far as I can go.
That's a fantastic answer.
And when those scientific epiphany moments happen for scientists, there does always feel like that other shoe could drop, like, whoa, we did it. What do we do?
Yeah.
And hopefully there's several moments in the book where it's like, okay, we never saw that.
Yeah.
Like, that's what is that?
Yeah.
And it's like, hopefully that's something that builds a little bit more going in the future. So it's like, it's that double-edged sword, and then it's the best hopes for the creation you bring it into this world.
Yeah, I was going to say, a lot of it is, to me, I've always felt like it becomes life when you can see yourself in it and feel something, right? And you can see that it's feeling something that you have felt, and you can identify with that. And we got a little taste of that in book 1 with, are we doing spoilers here? We're not doing spoilers here?
No, so we can't. We can't spoil things.
We got a little taste of that in book 1 at some point. I won't say when, but I can't wait for things to go further and just be able to have humanity question itself when it can't tell if it's looking at a new life or a mirror.
Or it's that sentient moment of where you have that question that I think every sentient being has of, where did I come from? Is there more? What am I meant for? Where am I going?
Yeah.
Those type of questions, I think when something starts having, or someone starts having those types of questions for itself, then you have to think there's something there beyond just programming.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, as a parent,
Mm-hmm.
Amy and John, you know, the dichotomy of being a parent is you create this wonderful thing, i.e. Jacob, and you nurture it and shelter it and bring it along so that it can stand on its own and have its own ideas and its own thought processes and its independence and go in directions that you never could conceive. And like you said, do better than you and all the nominal measures of success, whether that's financially and everything else. But yet, when you allow it to do that, then you don't have control over it anymore.
Yes.
Or influence, and it goes in that direction. And that, you know, so, and you know, when you're younger, you were at first, okay, you know, similar to a book. Is my book going to be liked? Is it going to be popular? I want everybody to see all these wonderful things in the book that I see, and maybe people will, maybe people won't. But in the end, it's that having to let go and put it out there in the universe, and to be like, okay, I wrote it, and now I own it, but yet it's really the readers in a way, and that's a weird feeling.
Very weird.
Isn't it strange? Yeah.
There's that quote. There's that quote about parenthood, about like having a child is like forever watching your heart walk outside of your body.
Yeah. Yes.
And that's what we're aiming for with the artificial life forms, is to what does it feel like, not only and to connect that to parenthood. And to say, like, you know, some people are really crappy parents and some people are great parents, and sometimes they, you know, kids rise despite what we do, and sometimes they rise because of what we do. Yeah. But and the book has been the same way. I mean, so I was chatting with somebody recently about just a tiny aspect of a character that we could push a little bit better in book 2, and I called the character like my insert character name here, like my character name. And I said, well, I guess now it's our character, because and that to me is like, well, while I did, we all did our best to bring some of these people into the world, some of these characters into the world, it's because of feedback and people who care about them, that they're going to improve, and they keep improving. Yeah. So, I mean, like, that's that part of, like, you know, watching your heart walk on the outside of your body. It's just like, here it goes. And and people are adding and having their say and saying what they love and saying what they don't love. And it's just like, it's a wild thing. It's an absolutely wild thing.
Well, you're on book 5 now. So you're like kind of an old hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So the only thing I can kind of, and maybe you kind of go back to your theater days. Well, you know, you show up and you work and you work and you work. And then it's like the people that buy the tickets and come and sit down, they're going to tell you what it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what I think it is when it's all said and done, or what the director it is. And the people that read the book, it's the same thing. Like, it's one of the most important and empowered steps of artistic expression, is when the audience sits down, because that reaction, or what they feel, or what they get from it, or what they carry with them afterwards, that's what you've really done. All the hard work and the intention and everything. It's like, that's
out the window.
It's the audience that holds the cards in the end, you know. And I just try and keep going back to that. It's like, well, it's over. It's opening night is come and gone.
Yeah.
It's somewhat out of our hands now. The audience is going to tell us what we did. We tried our best to do what we thought we wanted to do. Now the audience will tell us what we did.
Very well said. Extremely well said. What is it that you want? What you would want as the author for people to take away from Discovery? What reaction are you looking for? What are the things that you want people to ruminate about when they reach it? What were you looking for when you wrote this book?
Money? I'm kidding.
Boy, are you in the wrong bit.
Every indie author just laughed their butt off.
So far, the one I like the best is when I hear, that is not what I expected.
Yeah, that makes me so
I
happy.
love that one.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
it's like you're picking up a book that you haven't read yet. What are you expecting? How can you have expectation? So I love that. I love when it's something, it's like, wow, well, good. I feel great about that. Or, a lot of the things you said are just lovely and wonderful and nice to hear. You like the characters, the questions that would ask, that would make you ask. I don't think there's been a bad reaction.
Not that you've heard.
Not that even when people have said I have a problem with this, it's like,
Okay.
I can see that.
I
Yeah.
can see that.
Yeah.
I think you're totally on point with that. I mean, I haven't heard
I'm not so
anything.
disillusioned to think that there aren't errors in this
Oh my
book. Or
gosh.
that,
Yeah.
but
We just pointed at Jacob. Oh, well, that was Jacob's part.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I totally
I didn't do that.
And you're right.
Yeah.
I think the thing that's been the coolest for me is like we've spent so much time on book one. It's been like 3 years of just the three of us knowing all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And nobody else cared because why would they? And now some people care. And the thing that makes me the most excited is when people say I can't wait for book two, because now it feels like togetherness. And it's like I can't wait for book two either.
I can't wait for book two. I'm through the moon. I'm like, oh my gosh, I want it now. Right? Yeah. And I'm sorry, but
stuff that happens in book two.
How can you have preconceived notions with I have the cover up there with that cover? Because that cover is like WTF. What?
Yeah.
What? It's brilliant. It's stunning. It's visually captivating. But I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know what it represents. I don't know. That's a cover that there's lots of covers that I think lead you to believe what the story's about. That ain't one of them. It's amazing.
And that's weird because we gave our cover artist our ideas. Oh, I think maybe this, or I think maybe this. And then he's like,
idea.
You know what? I'm just going to give you what I think it should be.
And we just went.
And then that's what he gave us. That's what he thought. We were like,
all right.
You're right. That's why you're the artist and we're just a bunch of
he sent us the drafts of like what we asked for. And we were like, that sucks.
Yeah. Look, whose idea was that?
Yeah.
And then, you know what, though? Like, I don't know. I
What
think
do
my
you like? Yeah. What are you?
What do I like?
Yeah. When you hear a response, like what would you want people to take away from it?
It pushed me. Like it
made me uncomfortable.
I was out of my comfort zone a bit.
I've heard that a couple times.
And I liked it. And I was like, all right, I'll take that. Yeah. That's one of my favorite responses. And yeah, I mean, I think that's what like literature and stories can do. And that's like one of the, I absolutely love it when people tell me what character they love.
Yeah.
Because
I love
that's
that.
almost like somebody complimenting your kid. Yeah. I mean, that's just like, yeah, me too. There's somebody else like, and now I like this character. I was like, yeah, me too.
And I kind of like it when someone says they hate a character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you probably should, and wait till you see what happens. Wait till you see what's coming.
It's not going to get any better.
You might not like them any better.
I also like it when people say they had fun.
Yeah,
because
that's a great one. Yeah. Or I laughed. I wasn't expecting to laugh.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that you enjoy when people say that. Oh, that's
out of my comfort zone.
Because this is out of your comfort zone, Mom. This is something that you never would have thought that you'd write. You're not even a fan of cosmic horror.
Not really.
And
no, she don't like it.
Yeah, sucked you right in there, eh?
Yeah. But I do like what some contemporary takes on cosmic horror is doing.
Right.
I love what Victor LaValle is doing, and I love what Matt Ruff is doing, taking cosmic horror and addressing American racism. So I was just like, okay, now I want to chime in, and then I want to add some feminism, and I want to add maybe some crimes against humanity. I just want to throw the whole ball of wax at it instead of just this one aspect. Not just American racism, but other kinds of racism. And
not only the theme of othering that we're familiar with in this country, but it's like, if it's going to be an apocalypse, a global apocalypse, let's make it a global apocalypse. Let's check in with points of view all over, from all over the globe.
And points of view that I'm not comfortable with. I don't know. It's like, all I knew when we started this is that I loved the country of Ghana, and I couldn't say why. And I just thought it was a great place to to look at some of those cultural things that happen with the United States, like the Back to Africa movement, and some of the and slaves returning to Africa, and a family that grew out of that. And it's just like, well, that sounds like a book I'd read. Like, so I just kept like massaging it, going just like, I don't know, it's like, I'm just gonna make a book I'd like to read, and have fun doing it.
Yeah, there's so many dynamic things about all that. Of course, you're speaking to me,
Yeah.
Ghana is part of my heritage on my father's side, and I just was like, wow, and those are some of the best surprises, I think, for me in Discovery, where it took me places that I certainly was not expecting, right? And so when John, you're actually about, I wasn't expecting that. That's a good thing, right?
Yeah, I love that response.
Mm-hmm.
I love that response. It's like we went to Brazil, we went to Ghana, we I mean, it's like that people may not see that coming, and I think that's cool.
Or the AI, they don't see that.
They don't see the AI.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't really think it's quite clear yet
why
it's there. We tried to lay the foundation and the seeds, but
yeah, all the seeds are laid, but still, when you see why there's AI there, I hope everyone goes, oh no.
oh wow. Okay. All right. And now you got me really curious. I'm gonna put up this quick comment just because he's so amazing. I know he's doing this world tour. We got Megan's Hobbit Hole Books, fabulous booktuber, reviewer, amazing fella.
Wow.
He's doing this world. He just like basically packed up shop and said, I'm gonna go see half the world. So I guess you can do that when you're.
That is
so
awesome.
Do it, buddy. I hope you're having a great trip. So
that
just want to say hi. Thanks for coming by. Megan's is absolutely.
I'm looking something up.
Fabulous.
I want to tell PL. This was one of my favorite responses.
Were you finished putting comments up? Did John interrupt you?
No,
go ahead, PL.
No. That was the main one. There's the main one. There's lots of comments, but I just wanted to put up Megan's because he joined.
John's gonna get. This is a very good comment. This is a comment that, like, as you can see, you take a screenshot of and you keep it on the phone for when you're having a bad day.
So it didn't come to us. It came to someone else. Another booktuber recommended the book to someone.
And they asked that they share it.
And they asked if they'd share it, so they sent it to us.
Yeah.
And
we didn't get a hold of it by
so
weird means.
Okay, I've been reading Discovery by JAJ, and I mean it with absolute seriousness when I say it is only taking me 69 pages to recommend this book to anyone. And I have. I say page 69 because it is possibly the greatest sentence I've ever read. In quotes, this is Manny DiMartini recording for posterity. Half my crew tried to abandon ship for Donkey Kong, so I've been forced to proceed with fewer allies.
That is a friggin' brilliant line.
So it's that's all, because we tried to have, there's so many points in dramatic, horrible, tragic moments where humans are just irreverent and weird and kooky. And it's like, we absolutely wanted that in there.
Yeah.
So for someone to pick out one of those lines that we're like, we can't be too serious for too long. That's like, that made me happy.
Made me happy too.
You should be very proud of that. But I mean, you have everything in the book. The prose, I highlighted that in review. There's moments of that, that highbrow, I highlight some descriptions, really evocative stuff. I know you're going to give credit to Amy, especially because of her background, the master's literature, etc. But like I said, collectively, the book was so well written. And it took me away. I was lost for the times. I was lost in the book in the most positive way when I was reading it. And like I said, I cannot wait to get to number 2 quickly, as I know because I can keep talking to you guys all day. I would literally keep you hostage here. But can you tell us a bit about book 2? Is it coming at some point?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know?
Well, we have
I mean, the next big thing is the audiobook will be coming.
Right. We did. We are contracted with Podium Entertainment to do the audiobook, and we were talking with them today about casting, and we were we were so excited we couldn't sit down. Like
Yeah.
we just kept like pacing around the backyard about how excited we were
Yeah.
about their ideas. So we can't wait until we can talk more about that. But we've always felt that this is a story that needs to be spoken aloud. So we're very happy with their direction and it's not a celebrity or anybody like that, but it's just they just so closely match the characters that we were just I actually burst into tears when I heard one of them.
Yeah,
because I was just like, that's her. That's her.
And they're committing to like a wider range of voices and people and performers.
So
and
that it could be like 6
narrator.
or 7 narrators in this.
Yeah. That was the thing that we were most scared about with the audiobook is like we have so many nationalities in here that we want to respect everybody and represent everybody the best that we can. And that was like one of our big things is like we want the accents to be spot on, and that was the thing that they were showing.
The cultural respect,
and the cultural respect,
and they had said they were saying like we were asking about one particular narrator today, and they said just like, well, I mean, like we really want to keep within the ethnicity of the character, and we were just like, wow, okay, so, thank you.
Sure. That's
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it was that surreal moment today where we're listening to samples. It's like, oh my, yes.
Well, nailed it. Yeah.
They nailed it. They nailed it. So it's like that's the next big step that, that will hit. And then we hope to have book 2.
Well, actually we've signed a contract so that we have to give them, book 2 by a certain amount of time. So like,
we kind of have
lawyers are involved now. So we can't just sit around eating bonbons.
And just say like, we've got to get book 2 out. So.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Yes.
As far as what we can say about book 2, I would say we leave off with a certain construction happening at the end of book 1. Very important in book 2. We will learn much more about the AI. That's very important.
Okay.
And we will have
we leave off with 2 people being a loose term, very unhappy with each other.
Yeah. That will get furthered.
That will go a very long way.
We leave off with, I guess I can't really.
Nope.
Yeah,
that's about all.
Okay.
Well, I will just say steps are being taken to make things so much worse.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. Well, things that's okay. Well, things are not going in a good direction at the end of the book. So
look, when we started writing, when Jacob had this initial idea and we started writing, what we started writing was book 3. Yeah. So and then we just had to keep backing up to make to make it make sense. So it's going the book
the end of book 2 what used to be the end of our first book, but it was just going to be such a chonker that we were like, oh what, but it's the kind of big bang that you want at the end of a book, because it was just like, oh, it's headed up to this. We just kept like reaching for that goal, and then we cut it in half for this one, and now we're just full steam ahead towards this one thing that we want to get to. So we're pretty excited about that.
Okay, well, I know I am extremely excited. I'm sure all the people watching.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, and all I can tell you is that I'm having the time of my life right now. It's like we sit down with these 2 guys at the table today, and we're trying to figure out how the tiny little mechanics and everything, just to make sure it's perfect. And we start like fleshing it out from there. We're just like, are we sure? Is there a plot hole? How are we going to fill it? And we're like, is this how we're going to do it? All right, and then go. It's just the best time of my life.
And that's, I think that gets a short shift sometimes of working in a writer's room with more than one.
Yeah. It's like fun.
You can get called to the carpet. Yeah. Like, no, there's a plot hole there you didn't think about. We got to keep working. Or I don't like that. And then it depends on how hard that person that's getting pushed fights back. If they fight back really hard, it's like, okay, there might be something here. They're fighting real hard. This might be really good, but it's like everybody has free reign to push and to question and to call out and to call it to the carpet until we can't come up with any other holes.
Yeah.
So I think that helps us a lot.
but
have
the
that.
strength to be able to do that as a loving family that can say respectfully, hey, and to,
Not
I
enough.
mean,
Yeah.
what an advantage, right? So
Yeah.
it's just so inspiring, and I'm just so happy to again, be as an outsider to watch this happen. It's
We don't think
just
you're an outsider. We don't think you're an outsider.
First of all, you're not an outsider.
You're
Right,
in
I
it,
mean, like,
Theo.
well, I mean, like everybody
family.
who's a part of the community, especially the booktube community, has been
Like Daniel right there, he just said, too bad. I'm pretty sure the Kindle Unlimited money I sent could have bought you at least half a bonbon.
yeah.
Like, you know what? Like
Exactly half.
you read the book.
Exactly
I
half.
don't care. You read the book.
I mean, that's amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
But I, you know what though, like as far as like, the people in the chat, I mean, UPL and the people who've talked to us about it, everybody who's been a part of this is an important part of this.
Is the audience that came in and sat down. And you get to decide what it is we did. Without you, we're just rehearsing over and over again.
To be honest, we were going to do something completely different next. And then like everybody was
Yeah.
just like, I want book 2. And we're like,
oh yeah,
You better do book 2.
like it's fast.
Yeah.
So like, and
Oh,
that's, I mean, like there's feedback and there's joy and there's tiny little, like, I love it when people just like, the way she says this isn't quite right. So like, and I'll be like, I love that because like, I get the opportunity to talk about somebody's culture and
we get
how
the
people
chance
learn
to-
English and how they, I was just in love with that
And we get a
interaction.
chance to fix that in book 2.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
or
Do a
even
little
down
better.
to like a month before book 1 came out. Like I think someone told us, "Hey, you spelled this person's name wrong." We were like,
Livia,
Livia
Yeah.
helped us with that. Yeah.
Livia,
Livia.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Livia Elliott,
Yeah.
she's an amazing author.
Livia
Fantastic.
Elliott. Yeah. Livia Elliott was just like, for Lucia, just like you want the accent on this word and you want to make this curse was like, you want to straighten this out a little bit. And we were just like, thanks. It's just like,
In Spanish,
yeah, she's just like she's fixing our lip gloss before we went out in the town and she was great,
That's true. They got your back, man. They
I
have
was
your
so
back. We got
grateful,
that food on your face you didn't wipe off, and they tell you.
like some
fun too.
writers would be just like, like maybe like up in arms about it or whatever. And I'm like, no.
We feel we this community.
It's so important to us.
It's we don't do it without it.
No,
Like it doesn't happen. This doesn't happen. The three of us don't pull this off
no.
without. No,
I mean, I think that was
hands-
something that we were so secretly hoping for. That's like we want so many more cultures to come up in later books, and we want to do justice by everybody. That like we were hoping somebody would read book 1 that was from a certain culture that could help us. We could DM them later and ask them questions about, I don't know.
And we are
what's-
collecting them
And
now.
we're
and I'm
collecting
Yeah, I
so
know.
happy.
It's like, oh man, someone from Serbia likes our book. Save that person's
Save
number.
that.
Well, I think you got just I think because you care to get it right, you automatically will get a lot more things right than you will ever get wrong. So kudos to you for making the effort and the attempt. So that takes, very special people, which you are. Some of my favorite people in the community. I admire and look up to you three so much. It's just, I'm very, very honored to be your friend.
Let me tell you,
I'm honored to be here.
we call you Papa Lover around the house for a reason. Like it's like we spend a lot of time like, come on, what would PL do here in this situation?
Yeah.
What would PL do?
Oh no, you guys are in trouble if you're thinking that way.
So far, it's kept us pretty good.
But listen, I could keep here all night. I want to be respectful of your time. You've been so generous with it. I just love hanging out with you guys. Love being around you. You're such a positive, warm, amazing influence on the community. You do so much for the community. You are just stellar human beings and brilliant writers. And I can't wait for book 2. I know, and whatever else you write. I know a lot of people out there are waiting with bated breath for book 2 as well. So if you have not checked out Discovery, I know you've heard the buzz. I know you heard this name floating out there, guys, but do it because it is freaking fantastic. So Discovery, Strange Eons, book 1. Can't wait for book 2. JAJ, Minton, the three of these wonderful humans. They are the authors. As we're winding down, can you make sure you tell us where to get the book? Can you get signed copies somewhere? And also, we've neglected to talk about, which we'll have to have you back, about essentially your wonderful booktube channel that has also blown up in the last few years, and we'll have to have a separate discussion about the three of you and how you make that just
the
how you
booktube
make
channel
that
we would love to talk to you anytime. That's not a problem.
Yeah. I know the secret weapon is you got the best producer in show business, and Jacob.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking to Brian Bell today. It's the
Brian Bell Belltube.
Brian Bell Belltube, and it's like the secret is like there's three of us.
Yeah, there's three of us. There's
it's
divide and conquer.
It's so I can't imagine someone doing it all on their own. I can't even fathom it.
I'd lose my mind.
Yeah.
Well, you do it to a very high quality. So, and quickly, I do want to put up this comment in terms of your subs. I noticed that Zach, the storytelling dragon, says
he
happy
keeps an eye on it.
So, congratulations!
Thank you,
fantastic,
Zach.
Huge accomplishment.
Thank you so much. That's amazing.
Congratulations, boys.
Yeah.
But sorry. So please tell us where we can buy the books,
Jacob.
Find copies,
Where
we follow you in social media and all that.
Yeah, talking about the money, son.
Yeah. So you can go to our Patreon. We have a booktube channel called Talking Story, and you can buy Discovery on Amazon. We have paperback and ebook. If you have Kindle Unlimited, it is free on Kindle Unlimited, so pick that up. As far as signed copies go, we did a signed pre-sale, but that is unfortunately over, so you'll have to wait until we decide to turn our whole house into a mailing room again someday.
You can give us your email on our website, and we'll let you know.
Give us your email on our website, jajminton.com. We'll send you some updates if we have anything planned.
I can say this: if you are around our area,
stop, please. I want to wait.
You're not hand delivering books.
Yeah, you're not hand delivering books. I want to say, I can't.
So
I can't
I'm coming to Seattle Worldcon. So you're in California, right?
We're gonna make
you guys will be there. Oh,
we'll be there.
No, just him. Jacob's going. Not me.
Big hugs.
Yeah, no, we're going to make a big announcement about that Sunday, but we can tell you, PL, yes, we're meeting you.
Yes.
We're going to be there.
John's going to be at Con Carolinas.
Yes.
I'm
at Con Carolinas next weekend. If anyone's there in our area, stop by. If you're at Con Carolinas, I will have some signed copies.
But we're not going to do signed copies until I forget what we just went through. PL, have you ever done that? Have you ever done signed copies?
You have to.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
You do it all the time? How do you do that?
You have it open all the time?
Absolutely.
It's open. So basically, if you message me on my website and you want a signed copy, PayPal or e-transfer, and I'll send you a signed copy. It's keeps you busy. Again, I have a secret weapon with my wife. Right, my wife is my business manager, so I have a secret.
There you go.
So see, like you said, doesn't happen. I couldn't handle all that stuff on my own. So,
oh my god, yeah. I mean, we will do it again. We will do it again.
We will do it again. But for the first time, I think we took about 8 trips to the post office before the lady was like, "What are you doing? Stop, please."
Because we live in a small town, and she was just like, "Okay, you've shut down the post office.
You can't come back.
You can't come back here. You need to go to the other post office."
You need to do all the. I'm not quite sure using work in the U.S. Here, of course, Canada Post was about to go on strike. You can get our corporate. I mean, we're incorporated as a business. Have a corporate business card. It saves a lot of red tape and hassles and costs. So if something similar,
yet again, Canada is ahead of us.
Yeah, there you go.
But we all.
I don't think we were. I think there was more than we were expecting.
There were more than we were expecting, but we'll do it again someday.
That's a good problem to have, though, and that's
I'm not complaining whatsoever.
I don't want to hear that we're going to do it again someday. I'm still having nightmares.
We'll do it again someday.
We'll do it again.
Testament to the popularity of Discovery.
Just going to put up this
quick comment that says so far the book's excellent. Going back to reading, and of course Zach says it's only going to get better, of which I have zero doubt.
Zach is a big cheerleader.
Zach is very nice. It gets weirder.
Listen,
it gets bigger and weirder.
I want to thank the wonderful Mintons for coming on. Quickly, where do you find you on social media besides the YouTube channel?
Yeah,
Go,
if you want
Jacob.
notifications of when we upload, we are on Twitter, Instagram, BlueSky, and we have a Discord, which we suckered PL into joining. If you want to talk to PL on our Discord,
But if you go to our website,
the Discord hater,
yeah,
best thing ever. Best thing ever.
go to jajminton.com. It's
Yeah.
all there. Give
Yeah.
us your email.
Yeah.
We won't sell it. We have nobody to
And
sell it
also,
to.
I mean,
don't say
there's-
it like you're
there's
joking.
a-
That doesn't sound
I mean,
good
if you
at
don't
all.
like Amazon, there's a free
I don't-
sample of the book at jajminton.com.
So
Yeah.
it's on Amazon too. You can't
Yeah, but
say
some
that.
people might not want to go to Amazon. You can check
I'm
it
just
out.
If you
saying,
don't wanna
it's
go to
not like you're not
Amazon-
special. You're not
If you-
special.
I just-
You don't have the special key.
If you don't want to
anymore.
go to Amazon, you can walk into any bookstore,
Yes.
anywhere near you, an indie bookstore, Barnes and
Everybody
Noble,
knows
wherever, and they can order it in for you.
Everybody knows
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Not
There you go.
everybody knows that.
Not everybody knows that.
Well, now
Make,
you know, which is a good thing.
make Barnes and Noble do things for you.
Yeah. Make Barnes and Noble do things for you.
They can take it.
Mhm.
Folks, this has been absolutely amazing. I want to thank everybody who stopped by in the live. Anyone who's going to watch this on the replay, you are what makes this type of long form content awesome. Don't ever let
Yes.
anyone tell you that long form content is dead, because it's
It
very
is
much
not.
alive. And you know what's alive? Because we have beautiful people like the Mintons that can come on and you just want to chat to them all day. So that's
NPL.
thank you. And that's what makes this amazing. Quickly, me, I'm PL Stewart, John Kim Side, that's the channel. Twitter, BlueSky, Instagram, Facebook, it's all at PL Stewart Writes. John King Saiga, www.plstewart.com. 5 books out now, 6-1, A Black Dragon on Red, coming in the spring of 2026. And finally, for shameless self-promotion, wonderful anthology, Shapers of Worlds, Volume 5.
Yes.
My story, Force Dark, is somewhere sandwiched in the middle, but there's some brilliant authors in here, so please read their stories. And if you get to mine, that's fantastic. If you don't,
Talk about it.
that's okay.
Multicultural experience. That was a very well-rounded anthology.
I'm buying a copy right now.
Oh, thank
I have
you.
it.
I'm honored.
You have it on ebook. I want a hardcover.
Sorry.
Oh my God.
He's got a shelf to fill, PL. He's got a shelf to fill.
I'm
Well,
working
honored.
on it.
Don't get in that
Let's-
boy's way.
We're gonna have to have you folks back so we can talk about the
Oh.
booktube side. That's a whole other
Anytime.
hour and a half. So,
Anytime.
but
Anytime
But I'm-
talking to PL.
so honored that you've graced me with your presence, Mintons. I can't thank you enough. And I wish you nothing but success, which we know is already achieved, and there is much, much more coming. And again, thank you for this brilliant experience of reading Discovery, and thank you for being you. So
Oh man.
we appreciate it.
Yeah,
Hour and
thank you,
32
PL, for
minutes. PL
you know
makes me
what? You have gone before us, and you've made an amazing example of how to be a part of this community and try and pay it forward and give back because of the standards you have set
Mhm.
going forward in this community and creating the way you create. And we owe you a huge thank you as well.
Yeah, there is no better role model than the most handsome and kind man in the community, PL Stewart.
Papa Love. Papa Love Stewart.
You're very kind. I love you guys. Everyone
Love
in the
you,
chat, love you guys. Take care. Have a good
Good night.
night. Take care.
Bye,
Bye-bye now.